Right, are we on? Okay, we're on. We're on. I'll wait 5 minutes. I need to check my new mic as well. See if it's working golden, which hopefully it will be. Right, good. I suppose that's okay, right? Let's check. Not right. Right, wait 5 minutes for some people to pop in, and then we will get started. We will get started. I was going to do it before, but we went out, so just got back now, and I thought it would be a good time to do the stream. What the hell are the bananas, damn it? The state of my room at the moment is just horrific. It's just, there's stuff everywhere. That's ridiculous. Gummy pizza! Yes! Okay. Oh no! I literally can't even open it. 1 second. Does anyone remember these gummy... What the hell? Oh, like, it's actually a gummy pizza. Oh, right. I was thinking about a gummy burger. There's a gummy burger. Gummy burger. Yes. Bet everyone remembers these bad boys from when you were a kid. Yes. These are thick. These are so cool. One sec. Don't even get into it. Not quite as exciting as it was when I was a kid. Look at that bad boy. Gummy burger. Gummy burger. Jesus. I used to always eat that bit. That bit used to be the nicest bit. The cheese and the whatever it is, lettuce, I guess. It still is nice. Still how I remember. So, if you got any questions, whack them in the chat. I don't know what there is to talk about today. I'm just trying to do a live stream every week so I can get back into it. But yeah, just been a normal week this week. Lectures. My birthday's on Saturday, which is cool. That'll be good. But yeah, it's just a normal week. Getting back into lectures. I think it was the second week back. Wait, I think it's been the second week back so far since lectures started. I think we started on the... God, I don't even know now. When did we start? Let me check on the calendar. Yeah, that was it. Monday the 25th. So I've had Monday the 25th through till Friday the 29th. And then I've had Monday the 1st through to the 4th here. So yeah, we're 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of lectures. Timetable is much better actually this time. I was thinking that it was very, very bad, but it's so much better. So I like my timetable. But I don't know. I'm not too happy, let's say, with the layout of certain modules and maybe a couple of the lecturers as well, compared to last term. But it's just the way it goes, isn't it? Oh, hi Mel. Mel's in the chat. I'm just eating a gummy burger. Hey, that looks really cool as well there, because you can see... Oh no, you probably can't see it on there, but there's a little bit of red. I guess that's like the tomato sauce or something. I don't know. But yeah, so it's just business as usual. Been getting on with quite a lot of stuff. As you're probably aware by now, I've been doing more on YouTube. So I've got I've been doing a few more videos and stuff, it is my intention to keep it up. I'm editing one tonight, actually, a very, very long video. But what I'm doing is I'm just streamlining it. I've got a load of tabs open again, so I'm just closing some tabs down. Oh my god, this computer goes so slow. It scares me how slow this computer goes at times. Oh crap. But the thing is, I always have, like, well, how many tabs have I got open now? 5, 10, 15, 19. But I've just closed about 4 or 5. So it's really not good. Oh, I need to close that because that's done. I'll keep that one open. Right, okay, cool. Because it is so bad. It's so bad the amount of tabs I have open. You know what I could do with doing as well, and being on stream will give me the motivation to do it. Do a very, very brief tidy up of the room, and I can just chat while I'm doing it. Because I really need to tidy this room up a little bit. It's not that I need a full tidy up. I do that on Saturdays anyway. But it's just that I actually need, you know, a few things putting in certain places and stuff. Because it's just, there's a lot of random stuff over the floor. And there's a lot of random stuff on the desk and all the rest of it. So I just need to sort that out, really. Oh, and also, you may see that I've got my new mic. So tell me how that's performing. Does it feel okay? Does it seem all right? Because I was setting it up yesterday, and I don't know. I kept kind of coming to it, and I kept thinking, because what I would do is I'd kind of have a look. I'd kind of do a little test, and then have a look at the video and see whether the audio's come through all right and all the rest of it. And I was like, I don't really know whether I'm too happy with it. And then I tweaked something else and then tried to get it right. And I thought, oh no, actually I'm a little bit more happy with it now. And then I went back to it and tweaked other things, and, you know, so I was back and forth on a lot of things. But I settled on a style that I think is quite okay. The problem is, even with a really good mic like this one, this is a really good kind of podcasting mic, it's still hard in this room, because this room is so, it really is so echoey, this room. It's so, just the audio quality in this room is just really, really bad. I don't know why. It might be the shape of it, because it is actually a very awkward shape, this room. Oh god, here we go. First one of the night. Hang on, is that on? You're welcome. That's great. That's motivation right there. But no, so I think it might be the shape of this room. I really do. I think it could be that, because there's a random side bit there to the room, and then it's got this kind, because of that side bit jutting out where the bathroom is, you've got this kind of area in which probably amplifies the echo. So I think it's probably something like that. Oh, Chris is in. Hello, is Kelly on tonight? I don't know. That's a pathetic excuse for a gummy pizza, isn't it? I don't know. I messaged her on Snapchat. She is just out in the other room anyway. But I'll check my Snapchat in a sec, see what she says. She might come on in a little bit. I'm not sure. Right, I'm just gonna quickly do my room. Oh god, a load of crap over the floor. Well, if you come in here, I'll have a shock, and we'll have to deal with it. Ain't gonna do much about it.
Extreme 1296 played this card. Hump that chair.
We're doing exercise tonight again, actually. Oh shit, it's 9 now. Okay, we'll be doing exercise in an hour. Right, one go. Right, okay, there you go. I've satisfied you for another night. Right. Thing is though, I think with this mic, I have to come right close to it to be able for you to hear me, because it's more of a microphone that muffles out background noise. So if I clean my room and I'm over there and I try and say something, I don't think you'll hear me. But still, you know, we'll just have to deal with it. It is what it is. That poor chair, you call that a humping? Alright, I know. I just can't be bothered with the humping the chair thing anymore. Oh, right, they're quite good. They can go in the bin. Oh, I need the room hoovering as well today. Well, not today, but I just need it hoovering. There's my old mic, just randomly on the floor, because I couldn't be bothered dealing with it yesterday. There's the box for the new mic. If anyone's interested, by the way, you know, MV7 podcast microphone, if you're interested, if you want to get yourself one or you want to look into it, voice isolation technology, audio auto level mode, God knows what that is, live stream ready, customizable sound signature, real-time headphone monitoring, touch panel control, which is that thing, well, you can't see it, but it's that thing here, and mic stand compatible. As you can see, mic stand compatible, which is really cool. Also, I finally sorted my wires out, so what I've got, you won't be able to see, oh no, you can see it, can you see that little thing there? That's a cable tie right there. So I've cable tied it to the actual mic stand right the way down, so that then I've not got wires everywhere. I probably should have done that years ago, but you know, it's. Oh, you got your COVID jab. Wow, nice. That's cool. Yeah, but you're like, are they doing the under 50s then? I can't believe it. I don't know. No, it doesn't need an interface or anything. It is like, what did it say? Is it XLR? I don't know, because I've never used XLR. Here we go. USB and XLR connectivity. But I don't use the XLR because I don't know what I'm doing with that. I just use the USB. And this might be one of the best USB microphones you can get. I don't think you can get much better than this one as a USB. You probably have to transfer to the XLR after kind of this one. Oh, we've got it in Russian and everything. Is that Russian? Yeah, it looks like Russian. Wow, that's a hard language, isn't it? Bloody hell. Got it in Chinese. Got it in Arabic. Arabic is an incredibly hard language. Wow. How do people even read those languages? That's incredible. Right, anyway. So, oh, that can go. That's just empty. Yeah, well, you're doing it for under 50s then. I thought Shazad was 30. Hi, Adz and chat. Just got home from work and you're still here. No, I was online late. Yeah, I was online later. I didn't start at 6:45 or 7. To be honest, these days I kind of am starting the streams at about 8. I'm not really starting them at 6:45 or so. Generally what happens is I have my tea at like 5:30, 5:45 or something. Obviously, I'm starting my tea at that time, so then it takes, well, it depends on what I'm having, but it might take 20 minutes or so to cook. So then by that time, I've done my washing up and all the rest of it, it's like 6:45, 7 o'clock, and then I end up doing a bit of reading or just chill with the flatmates, so it's about 8 now, really. I have been doing a lot of rushing today. I can read and speak Arabic, but can't understand it, though. How does that work? That doesn't even work. You can read and speak it, but you can't understand it. There's no logic in that. Well, okay. This is the problem with ordering stuff as well to a university room. You have to put the boxes places and stuff, and it's just ridiculous. I've probably not got. I won't have room soon to store this stuff. Right then. And oh crap. Oh no. Here we go. We were taught to read it from a young age. Ah, cool. Just now doing my folding and stuff, I suppose, on stream. Oh, I've got part of the mic stand down there. Crying out loud. Bloody hell. All these boxes, I tell you, it's crazy. Ah. Okay, that'll do. There for now. Gonna bin that. Right, I'm nearly done with the room anyway. Which is good because can't really be bothered tidying the room, but not that it was much anyway. Right then. Big girls really. Oh, I thought you said big girls really do cry then. Or I thought Lainey was in or something. Stop fiddling with nipple clamps. Oh god. Really big. What the hell's going on in this chat? Jesus. Well, nice to see a live Thursday Talks. I'm getting more hours at work next week, so won't be online as much, which kind of sucks. Still more money. Exactly. Yeah, I know. You gotta get. If you need more work, you gotta get it, ain't you? No wonder the chair gets the action. Bloody hell, what is going on? I honestly don't even know what goes on in that chat sometimes. Right. There we go. That's that sorted. Oh god, it's boiling in here. Absolutely boiling hot. Oh god. I need this bloody window open. It doesn't normally get this warm in here, but for some reason it said warm in here. It's probably just because I've got loads of layers on. Maybe, I don't know. Right then. Also, if you want to see any specific videos per se on the channel, let me know in the chat, because obviously what I'm doing now is I'm doing the poetry videos, I'm doing the philosophy videos, I'm doing the psychology videos, and I'm doing the reselling videos, and I'm doing the investing videos. So if there's anything specifically you'd like me to cover on psychology or philosophy as well as reselling or investing or anything like that, then let me know, because I'd appreciate it, because what I can do is I can look into certain things from a psychological perspective to do it for a video, and ultimately it gains me knowledge for the course that I'm doing as well, because I'm basically doing the research for the video, but simultaneously I'm helping with my own knowledge for the course and for being able to understand certain different things within psychology. So if you have any sort of questions like that, or there's any areas of psychology or philosophy you'd like me to cover that you may be interested in personally, let me know and I can do a video on that. Because I've got loads of ideas anyway. It's not like there's a kind of lack of ideas there or anything like that. I could just do loads of different videos on it. There's also I want to do a video on but before I do the video, I want to look into it actually. But I want to do a video on the link between genius and psychosis or neurosis and things like that. So anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, things like that. I want to do a video where I talk about the links between those two things, because obviously there's this old saying or this old idea that genius and madness specifically, although that's obviously a politically incorrect term, but genius and madness go hand in hand, and so that's an interesting one. I want to look and see if there's any sort of psychology with regards to neurotic tendencies or psychotic tendencies and genius. Because I think there's probably a lot of research, maybe not a lot, but I think there's probably a bit of research in that area. Because I go on a site called Science Direct, which is like a journal article site for, it's all different range of sciences and things like that. But you can filter it by psychological articles, or psychology articles, so I can look on there and I can kind of see if there's any of that research on there, because that's a very, very interesting topic to cover, and I think it would make quite an interesting video as well, just going into that kind of idea or that belief, let's say, and actually giving it some life and seeing actually if there is something to that. Geez, Adz, with all the videos, how do you have time for uni? I know, it's like, at the moment, God knows, I don't know, I'm just doing what I can. I'm doing here, there, and everywhere, it's not too bad at the moment because I've not got, what's the word? I've not got, like, assignments yet, so obviously, I've been back for 2 weeks, and, basically, because I've not seen this stream of videos on Everything Under the Sun. You've not seen this stream of videos on Everything Under the Sun? No, well, actually, yeah, you're very right. So, I've got videos scheduled. So I have done 1 or 2. I've done 3 poetry videos so far, and I've done a video on Taoism. And I think I did a video on how to overcome your idols within philosophy or within psychology. They're the ones, so they're like the 5 I've done so far, but I've got about 7 videos or so scheduled that are, philosophy, psychology based, so they're all good. There's also 1 video within that's reselling based, so there will be some reselling content as well. That was a sales update highlighting a few of the sales I've had. I've also recently put on some more listings on eBay, so I will be hopefully I'll be able to do another sales update if some of those things sell in the next week or 2, so there should be another reselling video to come after that. I'm kind of quite limited with reselling videos at the moment. For one, because I can't go sourcing, so I can't do a haul video or anything like that. And for 2, there's not really any point in me doing a sorting video or any of those kind of things, or a packaging video, because I just don't have enough to sort or enough to pack, and it'd just be a pointless video really. So I'm just making, when I've got a reason to make a reselling video, I'll do it. So like a few items sold on eBay, it warrants doing a little video, so I did that, and I extended the video chatting a little bit about my investing and how that's going at the moment and things like that, but only in a very kind of basic way. But yeah, hopefully, because I've got some more items on eBay at the moment, listed some last night, listed some a few nights before, and it's not too bad actually, because what I can do, obviously listing on my phone, is I can just list at night time while I'm watching something. It depends on whether it's a day where I'm staying up late. So if it's a day where I'm with the flatmates and we're staying up till 4 AM, well, I should say not a day but a night, it's a night with the flatmates and we're staying up till 4 AM, or 3 a.m., I won't have the time necessarily to, or, well, I do have the time, but I just won't be in that kind of frame of mind of working and doing that at 9 or 10 at night. I'll just be socialising. So it depends on whether it's one of those days or whether it's a more normal day, like, for example, me getting in bed and going to bed at 12 or 1. And then obviously at like 9, 10, 11, I can do a listing or two. So that's what I've done on a couple of nights. So I have got some on. But no, yeah, definitely, if you haven't hit the like the little bell or whatever it's called, hit the bell. There'll be loads of videos on it. If you don't know, I'm doing a psychology degree as well. That's where I'm at. I'm in a university halls room right now. And yeah, so I'm just weaving that into the channel essentially. So there's going to be lots of videos like that to come. So as I said, if you have any particular interests with regards to just general things that you might think, oh, I wonder what that is from a psychological perspective, or I wonder what that is from a philosophical perspective, then just let me know, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who kind of, you have these questions, you know, and you think, oh, I wonder what that actually means, or I wonder, oh, I do that thing a lot, I wonder what that actually is. And I might be able to either do some research on it and then do a video, or if I know enough about the psychological concept myself or the philosophical concept myself, I can just talk about it on a video anyway without doing, you know, particularly much research on it. So yeah, just let me know if there's anything like that. Oh, Tracy's in. Hi there, Tracy. Sorry, I've missed a bit of a chat because I'm rambling again. Well, if the boss offers more hours, you pretty much got to take. Yeah, exactly. I know, right? Only 8 watching. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, it's like it was 10 and then it's gone up to 12 or something. But it says, that's weird. It says 12. Oh, now it's gone down to 10. Right, okay. That was really weird because it said on the concurrent viewers 12, and then on the concurrent viewers this side of the page 10. And that was really, really weird. But yeah, I mean, I think as well with the fact that I just said that I was going to do, not just them, but I mean, that I changed over from doing solely reselling stuff and rebranded the channel maybe a couple of weeks back. Again, that's kind of done that with Thursday Talks. And, you know, I just take it as whoever watches these lives. Yeah, I know it sometimes is a bit annoying because you think, well, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever, you'd have 30 viewers, 40 viewers, 50 viewers, but it just is how it is, you know. The core group of people generally cling on, and that's the 10 or 11 people that we've got here right now. And so that's what it is. But because I've done the rebrand of the channel, and because I've kind of now got it so that then all of what I'm interested in is encapsulated within this channel, what we're going to find is we're going to get over the months, obviously there's an initial kind of offload of people, but over the months when the channel slowly starts to grow with the new kind of attitude of all these different things that I'm doing on it, then we're going to get new people in the channel, and they're going to be from various different backgrounds, for example, from psychological background, from philosophical background, from a poetic background, if people come to watch the poetry. And so we're going to have this kind of thing that slowly builds up. So it's just how it goes, you know. And even if that doesn't happen, it's not my place to be expecting, because there's been a lot of that in my life, and there's been a lot, and I think there's a lot of that in everyone's life, where we expect things, we expect a certain experience, we expect a certain we expect things of our friends, or we expect things of our family, or we expect things of certain people, and it's quite an immature thing, or it's quite an egoic thing to expect and to expect and to expect all the time. And sometimes it takes just the letting go of any of that, and just whatever happens, you know. And that's it, isn't it, really? So then, lol, Andrew just went live drinking on a Thursday. He does drinking on a Friday, doesn't he, normally? Does he still do drinking on a Friday? It's not even called drinking on a Friday, is it? It's called drinking with Andrew. But does he still do that? Because I've not really followed him, you know. And the other thing is, would you believe it? I was gonna catch one of Tracy and Tommy's streams, and I'd scrolled down, and they had literally finished, and I was like, oh, for God's sake, I would have liked to watch that stream, because I saw the thumbnail. It's got a great thumbnail now, Tommy. I don't know whether you've seen it, Tommy and Tracy's thumbnails, but one of them, it's like him, and then it's got a lovely picture of Tracy there, and they've got this lovely logo, got this really lovely kind of talk show host stylized logo, which is like almost metal type grey. It really like stepped up, you know, with the thumbnails and the logos and stuff. But yeah, so I need to catch one of Tommy and Tracy's, and I need to know when they're on, and then I'll just get up at 6 one of the days so that then I can catch them. Right then, let me go down. Where are we? Okay, well, the assignments will pile up. I know, yeah, well, that's the thing. The thing about the assignments is, because they have 5 modules, generally I'll have 5 assignments. Now, luckily, one of the modules we don't have an assignment for. We just have an exam at the end of the semester. So, the good thing about that is that if I've just got an exam at the end of the semester, I've got one less assignment to worry about. But one of the modules we have 2 assignments for, so therefore I've still got 5 assignments, and then I'll have about 4 exams in the exam period. So the assignments, I mean, if you're really good, this is what I did last semester. I think I've mentioned this. What I did was I did them all. I did the 5 assignments practically over 5 days. I did one each day, and I tried to knock them out in about 7 hours. I wouldn't suggest doing that, because I've got my grades back, and they're not the best. I got a C for 2. Now, I've not got all my grades back. So there was like 5 or 6 assignments, because one of the modules had 2 assignments. And I've got maybe half of the grades back. I think it was about 3 that I've not got back. I got 2. The grades I've got back are 2 C's and 1 A. So you could say it averages at a C plus, or maybe a B minus if you're lucky. I don't know. Probably more a C plus. But that was just cracking the assignments out within 6 hours each. Just one day. 1,500 word assignment, 6 to 8 hours, because I wanted it done. I was like, you know, that's me. I don't like work. I know that sounds really odd, because some people would categorise me in the clade of people who are actually quite industrious, but I don't like work. I just don't. I like reading, and I like reading what I want to read, but when someone tells me, this is the thing I don't like, when someone tells me you've got to do this, I automatically have an aversion to that stimulus, and I think, no, I'm not doing it, not doing what you say. But, you know, I mean, it is quite funny, because I do take on board a lot of what the lecturers have to say, and I do kind of integrate that into my own ideology, but I do it in a very, very intolerably intellectual way, which is I take it as if I've got ownership over that idea, and so I've got some sort of collective ownership over that idea, instead of it being bestowed to me by someone who is potentially going to be a teacher for me. And the reason why I do that, and I take it into myself, and I'm very kind of like, I've learnt that's mine, is because generally a lot of the lecturers I have, or a lot of people that I meet or that I interact with, I don't and this is a very, very big-headed statement, but I don't consider them as good as a teacher as I am. Now, if you watch certain videos of mine, certain videos that are to come over the next few weeks with regards to the philosophy and psychology, you will see in those videos clear examples of how I am a good public speaker. I am a good speaker, and so it's very, very hard when you are quite a good speaker, and when you are quite articulate, and when you have a wide vocabulary, and when you also have somewhat of some knowledge, to be able to take a lecturer's viewpoint and to idolize them and to say, oh yeah, you're this wonderful person who's got all these attainments, and I wish I was like you. I just can't do it, because I understand the fallacy of it. I understand the stupidity of it. It's basically people just psychologically projecting onto a lecturer this idea that they're never going to be as good as that person, instead of accepting it inside themselves and realizing in 6 years' time that individual, for example, this random individual who I'm making an example of, will have a master's degree or will have a PhD or whatever it may be, and they will be in the exact same position as that lecturer that they looked up to. And it's like, well, with hindsight, you think, well, what was I doing? Because now I realise that I am that person, or I am in line with that person in terms of intellectually. So then you just think, well, it's a load of crap. So that's why I don't even know what I was talking about, but that's why I kind of I don't know, I suppose like I'm quite possessive with my knowledge. I'm very possessive with it. I mean, it's not the only reason. Everybody knows it's not the only reason, but yeah. So Adz, do you find having lower listings and spending less time on eBay is energizing your passion for reselling? Interesting question. I think it is, yeah. I think that I was thinking about yesterday, actually. I might have even, not yesterday, maybe a few days ago, I might have actually said it in the video as well that I was doing on reselling. So I might have said in the video that the fact that I've only got a few listings on eBay is kind of nice. It feels as if it's, I don't know, there's just a real feeling of I'm doing it as a hobby, and it feels nice because I'm doing it as a hobby and I've not got kind of particularly a pressure there, whereas the lack of that pressure is the thing that makes me want to do it more. It is really odd, but I think the main thing that makes me enjoy reselling at the moment, and just doing it in a very small way, is that it takes me away from the intellectual, very mentally straining university stuff and other stuff that I'm doing as well. You know, that's relating to the intellect or to scholarly life or whatever. And so I think because it takes me away from that, and it makes me think, well, I've got that and I like that, and that's different, and that's to the side, and that's to the level I'm doing it, it's easy. Obviously to a higher level, when you're doing reselling to a larger level, a greater level, it isn't easy. But when you're doing it to that level, it's okay, it's easy, it's cool. So I don't know, I quite like that. I think that's, yeah, I think that it does give me that, and I think that it allows me some sort of feeling of freedom, in a sense, of being able to move away from certain other stuff. So yeah, anyway, so that's that. I don't even know whether I answered Tracy, but no, I'm doing okay, Tracy. I hope you're doing okay as well. Hi Ad, you was very funny eating your McDonald's the other day. Oh yeah, I know, that was funny. That's got quite a few views, hasn't it? I didn't realise that would get... We need to do a bloody another mukbang. That's got like 400 views or something. I was like, wow, why do people want to see the bloody mukbangs? It's like, what? That was... Anyway, I don't even know. I don't know, it might be because my flatmate... Well, I put my flatmates in the title. I mean, they didn't really come on. We were kind of, they didn't actually show the face on camera, but we were to the sides. It might have been that dynamic. It might have been the fact that obviously we were chatting on there. But I don't know. Yeah, we might need to do another mukbang. It's a good idea, actually, of Josh's. Josh said to me in the car when we were coming back, he said, why don't you do a live stream? We could do like a mukbang thing. So I thought, bugger it, we'll just put it on, because it doesn't take 5 minutes to just load it up on my phone. I don't know how the quality of that video's come out though, because I've not watched it or anything, so sometimes it can be a bit choppy on my phone, but hopefully it's hopefully it's come out alright. But yeah, we'll have to do another one, but we'll have to do another one where it's like we're eating more, because traditionally a mukbang is, obviously people put it in the videos quite a lot now, and they kind of put it in the videos where, like I did, for example, I only had a blooming burger and chips and called it a mukbang. You know, it's not really a mukbang. But yeah, you know, really it's when you've got a lot more food. So we'd have to do it where we have like a good, like, I'll starve myself for a day or something, and then literally at the night time just get like a pizza, chips, garlic bread, this, that, burger or something, you know. I probably won't eat it all or anything, but it would be good, it would be fun to do that. And then we could have the flatmates on as well and all the rest of it. I don't know whether to do a stream for my birthday or not. I was going to do, I hadn't actually, I thought about it, but I hadn't really fully decided or anything. So I don't know, but it's on Saturday anyway, so it's a good day this year, Saturday. Friday or Saturday to have your birthday is a good day. So yeah, I am drinking in the evening with the flatmates, so I don't know, that's the thing, I don't know whether I'll be able to do it necessarily in the evening. Unless I do it early evening, like maybe 6 or something, because we'll probably start drinking about 8. So I probably could do it. But yeah, it depends, you know. I do normally do something on YouTube for my birthday, so it probably would be good not to break the tradition and maybe just do something on here, even if it is just a live stream or something like that. We only go 3 hours now. You only go 3? That's still a long time. 3 hours is crazy. People who lack empathy, what causes it, what disorders it's associated with, and anything you may find out about it. That's a very interesting thing. Now I won't go into detail on that now because I don't know. All I would say is that it's definitely related to something called the dark triad, which is there's 3 different traits, and included within that is like psychopathy and also like manipulation and things like that. They're kind of within the dark triad, and I also know that it's approximately 1% of the population are psychopaths, and I think it's approximately about 3 or 4% is sociopaths. But yeah, what causes it? There definitely is some neuropsychology to go into there, the function of the brain and how the brain actually functions differently for certain individuals who are psychopaths or sociopaths compared to someone who isn't. But it would be quite interesting to actually look into it, you know, actually do some research into it and look at things like what happens particularly like in the emotional center of the brain, like the amygdala, or also another kind of partial emotional center of the brain, which is the insula. And it'd be interesting to see what goes on there, whether psychopaths actually have either a smaller amygdala or possibly maybe they have a certain association or a certain higher propensity for negative emotion instead of positive emotion, and things like anger and things like that. And it could also go back to a genetic instinctual differentiation. So for example, an individual might have a higher propensity for anger because there is something instinctually within those genes that kind of has directed the differentiation of the brain to such a way of being more angry or being more predisposed to anger. There could be something like that in it. I mean, I'm just spitballing different ideas of what potentially things could happen, but there's probably some elements of direction and some elements of scientific truth in some of those things, or in some of those hypotheses that I've just got going there. But yeah, it's very, very interesting actually. I'm trying to think of disorders that would cause it. I wouldn't know. I don't want to say a particular disorder. I was going to say a couple of disorders there, but I don't want to say, because I don't really think they will be the disorders that I'm thinking of that will actually be associated with it. But yeah, I do know, however, that people who are psychopaths and things like that. What was I going to say now? Oh, it's bloody gone now. I don't know. Oh, it's gone. I don't know. I was going to say something, but I've forgot it. See how quick things go when I tell you, you can lose your train of thought like that if you're not careful. But no, it is very, very interesting actually. But psychopathology as a field is like incredibly interesting. And the ideas of neurosis and psychosis and things like that, they're very, very interesting. Things that interest me massively are things like paranoid schizophrenia and stuff like that. It's incredibly, very, very interesting disorder. And of course, just general anxiety, like for example, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, health anxiety, clinical depression. These things, I really am highly interested by those things. Obviously, of course, because I've had anxiety myself, but more so schizophrenia because of its characterization in people when it's in its quite severe element. It's incredibly fascinating. Incredibly fascinating. To think about these ideas. And also, I wrote one of my assignments was on schizotypal personality disorder, and of course I bashed it out in 6 hours or so, and hence, well, actually it was deserving of a B or an A, but they gave me a C because technically, did I go off the question a little bit? Yes, but you know, the education system isn't very sympathetic to people with high trait openness who don't want to just do the question and who actually want to go off and actually do something intelligent with their mind, you know. But anyway, what are you going to do? I just can't get over that spiritedness, my intellectual spiritedness. That's the thing that shoots me. I shoot myself in the back, or I stab myself in the back, because if I just did what they wanted me to do on the question, which is what I should be doing, then I would get really good grades anyway and all the rest of it. But I have to go off and do my own thing, and I have to make it my own, and I have to be creative, and I have to be, and I have to like kind of really pizzazz it up. But you know, I just get these compulsions, these instinctual compulsions to just do these things because I need to express myself, and it annoys me so much that the education system isn't designed in such a way to recognise certain people's expression of intelligence, even if it is outside the strict regime or the strict rule of the question or the direction of the particular essay. But, you know, I mean, it's a curse. It's literally a curse if you have high trait openness and you're in a scientific discipline, because the way in which science is formulated is very like, high conscientiousness, which high conscientiousness as a trait is very kind of rigid and very, very... People with high conscientiousness are very directed and very systematic and ordered and all that sort of stuff. And so that's how science is has manifested itself. It's very ordered, very rigid, very systematic. And so if you have high trait openness and you really want to connect all these ideas up from all these different fields and stuff, you have to rein yourself in, and you have to be more conscientious, and you have to be systematic and all these different things. And it's like, it's not the way my brain works. I want to be relating these ideas in psychopathology, or let's say I want to relate these ideas in depth psychology to these ideas over here in neuropsychology, which actually the two fields are traditionally quite separate. And if you were to put that in an essay, well you just wouldn't get a very good mark, even if it was a brilliant piece of work, even if it was a piece of genius, because it wasn't assessing the question, because it was pulling from two different areas of psychology. And let's say also that you could work behaviourism into this. the tutors or the lecturers would still mark you down like crazy, even if it's a piece of genius. And that's a total fallacy, totally wrong in the education system. What we should be doing is we should tailor the marking to the content of the work, not based on your ability to answer a exact question in a very, very rigid way. But we should actually be thinking, well, this person has actually, let's say, answered the question, but then they've expanded and we've gone on into connecting all these different things in a way that we are just spellbound with, but yet, you know, in the current education system, you get marked down. But that shouldn't be the case. What we should do is we should send this piece of work to someone else in another department, let's say, who may be able to recognise it and understand it in a bit better detail. Then they send it back and think, no, this person needs a better mark for this. Yes, they may have gone off and done different things and all that, but they need a da-di-da mark. That's how it should work. It should work in a sort of looking at the individual rather than looking at the specific, rigid, strict, high conscientiousness style. And it comes into my philosophy of education, which I'm going to discuss in another video, because, oh God, I am shocked at I get shocked at the education system all the time. And it is only a product of my own psychology, in the sense that I always feel that the education system fails me, not that actually the truth of the matter is I fail the education system by the fact that I want to be rebellious, I want to be an intellectual rebel. That's what it really is, in terms of a neurotic tendency of my own. But you know, I still feel in some regard that the education system's failed me, but my own philosophy of education is born out of, it grows out of that fact that I believe that the education system has failed me. So I always have a certain anger and certain frustration with lecturers or education in general, because if I were to interweave Plato's idea of the utopia and his certain ideas with the education system with my own understanding in a modern context, I really do think I could outline a good kind of, not report, but what could you say, a good proposal for an educational reform that would actually enable people to get the expression that they need within the things that they're well, I would say genetically good at. I mean, genetically good at works because the big five personality traits are in part genetic, but are just naturally good at, shall we say. I think there's a suppression, or not a suppression, that's maybe too strong a word, or not quite the right word, but I think it's a shame, let's say, that quite a lot of people don't actually get that expression of what they're really good at because of the way the education system is structured. And so they end up thinking that they're not as good as they think they are. I think that there's so many people out there who sadly don't think that they're intelligent, or don't think that they have the capability for certain things, but it's simply that they've not found their particular subject, and they've not found their particular subject because of the very restrictive attitude of the education system. And you know, I mean, for example, we never did psychology or philosophy in high school. That's just one. So it would be very hard for me to go about and find. It was hard in the first place to be able to find psychology or philosophy at like 2021 for me. But even if, let's say, we go down a path and we can choose our path within high school or within primary school even, a lot of the stuff that we get taught isn't actually the real gold. There's a lot of removal of the gold from the education system. And the reason, well, it's not necessarily just removal. There is certainly a little bit of removal. Certainly, for one, with the removal of Carl Jung from any sort of talking about in any big way from psychology. Yes, okay, there's a little bit of chat about Jung and Freud and certain people. Well, certainly Freud's kind of more there's a lot of grounding in modern psychology and modern, the education system psychology, but certain individuals in psychology, or certain individuals in different fields, in literature as well, or whatever, don't get talked about, or it might be the case that they can't get talked about because they've put other people in that obviously they feel are more important, but actually they're not more important, the other people are more important, because you'll find that it's weird, the people that are the real pioneers in certain fields, the real rebellious pioneers, not like the real mainstream pioneers, but more the rebellious pioneers who do some incredible work and very, very intellectually bright, they're kind of not talked about, kind of, oh well, they're out of it, or they just don't get put in. So, and I think that damages people. I think that there's, fundamentally in the education system, there's a lack of any real sagacious individuals, any real people who have the status of being a sage, being a teacher in what it means to be a teacher. A teacher isn't a job that you can literally be like, right, I'm going to train and become. This is the weirdest thing about our system, is we think that we can train people to be teachers. But if you think about it, all of the top people in society who do all of these brilliant talks, TED Talks, for example, are a great thing that we can observe these people within. Any of those great people, they're just natural teachers. They just exude that sort of teaching element, that very sagely manner of being a teacher and an inspirer as well. Whereas we've got a lot of teachers in the education system, and I'm not blaming teachers at all, because God knows it's just as much of the students as well a lot of the time. But we do have a lot of teachers in the education system who become teachers, but they're not really teachers. They're kind of like, I'm doing this and I kind of like it or half like it, and I'm trying to apply myself, but they're not really teachers, they're not really inspirers, they're not really people who go out there and, grab the students and say, we're doing this. What's that movie with Robin Williams? Is it Dead Poets Society? I think it's Dead Poets Society, where he's the teacher and he's teaching literature or poetry or whatever, and he's the teacher. He is what it means to be the teacher. He is the inspirer. And the only key to being a teacher is complete absorption and passion in what you do. If someone is a psychologist, or if someone is a philosopher, or if someone is this, a physicist, or if someone is this, an engineer or whatever, the person who is truly a psychologist, or truly an engineer, or truly a physicist, is the one who is that. They aren't themselves anymore in a particular manner. They are completely aligned with the subject. They are the subject. The subject flows through them. There is nothing but the subject that comes through them. It's just when you think about that person, you think immediately and simultaneously about the subject, not just them as a personality. Of course, you do think about them as a personality, but immediately at the same time you think about the subject. If I say Brian Cox to you, you immediately think of a man, of course, but you immediately also think of physics and quantum mechanics and all these kind of ideas, because he is that. It's not that he is just Brian Cox, it's that he is a representation of what physics means. That's what it means to be a teacher. That's what it means to be someone who is in love with their craft, who is the very thing that it is. To be a philosopher doesn't mean to philosophize, it means to be philosophy itself. That's why there's a very great quote that says, Aristotle is the philosopher. And what that means is that, of course, it means that Aristotle is the archetypal philosopher, the synthesization of, or the synthesis of what philosophy means, and that's exactly it. He is philosophy. Aristotle is philosophy. Aristotle is the philosopher. There's also a similar quote that sometimes gets passed around, which says Plato is a philosopher, and you could say that, or Socrates is a philosopher, because equally these kind of people have that same sort of high level status in philosophy. It's like you could say it with Lao Tzu in Chinese philosophy. Lao Tzu is the sage, and it's the archetype. They are that. They've transcended their individual personality, and they have become that. They are that. That is their life. That they wouldn't be able to live without that. That's why Socrates himself ended up drinking the hemlock instead of living in a world without free speech. That's exactly why Socrates died, because he couldn't live without philosophy. He had to drink the hemlock. He had to drink poison. He had to kill himself because he couldn't live in a world without philosophy. And so, and that's what it means, and that's what it means to be a teacher. But unfortunately, we've got a lot of teachers in the education system, and you know, we need this to a degree, because we need to fill it's just logistics. We need to fill the amount of teachers that we need, and so we're always going to have a certain number of teachers who aren't really teachers, but they're just, you know, okay, they're kind of teachers, but that's that. But, you know, we have these teachers who are, of course, you know, not really teachers, and they just, they are in that role, and maybe they're doing French, or they're doing English, or they're doing maths, or whatever, and they kind of like it, but then they're attached to the idea of a teacher in a job. It's a job for them. Philosophy or psychology isn't a job for me. I don't ever think about it as a job. It's like, it's me. It's just who I am. It's my instinctual drive. It's my instinctual compulsion to be that. I can't not do it. If I don't do it, I get bloody weird. I can't not do it. It's the same to a degree as well with me, with business, and with, I can't not do something. It might not necessarily be reselling, but I have to do something to do with business. I'm very like that. I can't, no matter how small it is or how large it is, I have to do something to do with that kind of sphere, that dimension, that sphere of existence. Although I would, of course, say that my instinctual desire, my instinctual compulsion for the meaning of life, let's say, or philosophy, or whatever, all those kind of very, cliche statements about philosophy, those very cliche questions, those kind of things, that is very, very prominent for me. And so we have that side of it. Of course, what I would do is completely, I wouldn't let half the students into university. I would honestly, in my education system, I wouldn't let half the students in. I think that half of them don't even belong at university. They should just go into certain other jobs in society that would suit them better. A lot of people, they come here just for a laugh. They come here just to get drunk and do all these different things. Now, of course, I'm not saying it's bad not to do that. Of course, do that. But where's the intellectual curiosity? It's coming. We've got into this idea of university being this thing we come to just because it's a social convention. Just because we come to university. So that's what we do. You know, we all know this. We all know that that's what we do. But it's ridiculous, so we need to cut out half the students, first of all, and that, funnily enough, will mean we can cut out half the teachers, so you can get rid of half the teachers who aren't actually teachers. Then what we need to do is we need to focus on trying to get people in the correct instinctual patterns of their innate nature, right? So people who are high in trait openness and who have a proclivity for the instinct towards inquisitiveness or curiosity, they might make good psychologists or philosophers or all the things that are associated with the sage or the that kind of archetypal idea. So then we put those people quite naturally, in line with their instincts and in line with their interests as well, into a certain path. And then they go off. And then what we'll find over enough time, although this is a very idealistic philosophy of education, is that we'll get people at the top, slowly, more and more slowly over the generations, who are the real teachers in those fields, and then lower down than that we'll have, because obviously it'll always create a hierarchical system in terms of higher people with who are more intelligent and all the rest of it, and then slightly lower down, slightly less intelligent. But if we can make those slightly lower down people and even the mid people here, even if those people have still got their right direction, let's say, then those people should still sit as in a good position for actually helping other people who are students and young people actually fit into the right categories and then move along that way. And then what we'll get is a society that's based on, well, it's almost like a self-actualized society in a way, in some regard, that then means that these people go into the correct positions, just like, what is it? There's like, imagine you're like sorting beads, like you're counting beads. So you've got let's say you've got tiddlywinks. You've got tiddlywinks, and you've got green, and you've got black, and you've got blue, and you've got red, and you've got pink. And this is a great analogy for all of the different personality styles and instinctual compulsions upon existence, and how and interests that people have, and the ways in which people work, and the ways our brains work. So imagine you've got all these tiddlywinks. What we want to do is organise them into the correct little pots. So we do this, like that. And that is the way we gain this system. So you put them all into these little correct pots, and then you've got that thing. Now, of course, you've got the morality issue of, well, people probably won't want to do that. But actually, if people are aligning with their instinctual compulsions and their differentiated instincts, let's say, and their interests just generally, then what we'll have is we should have people who actually incredibly enjoy the subjects that they've gone into. Now, the way we need to work this, of course, is from a young age. We need to get people into these things from a young age, but then again we come across a morality thing. So it might be best that we keep some sort of structured education up until maybe the ages of 15 or 16. Then we can kind of place these people into certain different areas based on getting personality tests done on them, interviewing people, or maybe not interviewing them, but doing it in the best logistical way possible, maybe by a personal tutor. That we already have a personal tutor system anyway, so that could be quite nicely interwoven. We have a personal tutor system. The personal tutor gets to know each one of those people individually. They do the personality test. They get to know that individual over a number of years in terms of what their interests and what their personalities is like, and then that personal tutor can have like 15 or 16 an interview with that child and say, look, this is what your personality test has shown, this is what I believe the direction is that you need to go. Do you feel that this is your interest? The child says yes or no, and then if they say no, well, look, we want to make sure you're fairly happy, obviously, but also we want to make sure that you're put in a position of which you're going to be the most efficient at. So, look, here's another selection of different things that you potentially would be very, very good at based on your neurological structure and all the rest of it. And then that child pretty much is going to say, oh yeah, actually that, and that, because if it aligns to their instinctual compulsion, instinctual differentiation, or their personality type, it's more than likely that they're going to go with the first thing straight away because that's their interest, that's what they want. But they might go for one of the second options or whatever. But still, that's a good way of doing it, and then get them in that way. And then from 16 onwards, they get a more specialised education in that specific thing. That's the way you do it, and you base that specialist education on the specialists in that specific field where they have one master. And I say master because that's the old idea. You would have a master. You know, Plato's master was Socrates. Socrates taught Plato everything because Socrates was the master. He knew philosophy, so he taught Plato it. that's what you do. You specialize in that way. From 16 or so, you give someone a master, and of course that particular master is going to have a group of students. So it's not just going to be one master to one student, because that just wouldn't work logistically. But the master has a smallish group of students, maybe 10 to 15 students, something like that, and they teach them like that, and they teach them, and they're very, very intimate with it. They're very, very intimate with it. And if it's psychology, or if it's philosophy, or if it's what, but it seems ridiculous, the education system of what we've got at the minute, and it seems as if it's in for a bloody good reform. But the problem is, with all of these ideas, it's no good me saying as a little jumped up philosopher or a jumped up kid, oh well, yes, I would do this and I would do the other and I would do this and that, and when really, if I were to sit down with an education minister and run through all the logistics of it, I'd be spellbound, and I'd be thinking, oh God, well, I didn't realise this. Oh no, I can't. We can't do that. Then we can't do this. We can't that. Well, that idea's out, and we definitely can't do that. So then we get back to sort of an understanding of whether the education system is exactly as it should be right now, whether it is the best it can be right now, and that's a very, very disputable fact. But maybe it is. Maybe it is just practically as good as we can muster right now, and there's not much else we can do with it, and that certain people end up getting their expression through life anyway. Just generally they get to the level of which they are psychically capable of getting to. There's an idea in an essay by Jung, actually, where he says that every individual gets to the place in which psychically they can attain, the highest point that they can attain, they will get to, but they can't get further than that. So I'll give you a very good example for what I mean by this. Imagine you've got someone who's got an IQ of 120, right? And you've got someone who's got an IQ of like 90. And that person who's got an IQ of 120 has spent a good few days with that person who's got an IQ of 90. And let's just say, obviously I know that IQ isn't the best measure, and there's loads of different elements of intelligence, and people are intelligent in a variety of different ways, and that person who's got a low IQ will be practically fantastically intelligent, potentially in a different way than the person who's got an IQ of 120, who's intelligent in another way. But let's just say that person who's got an IQ of 120 has been talking to that person for days upon days about all these amazing concepts that they know. Then the person with the IQ of 90 is only going to absorb as much as their brain will allow them, as much as their psychic capability will allow. And so that's the idea, that through the exposure of life, and through meeting with all these different people in your life, and through also your own experiences with education and all the rest of it, your flowering will be to the level that it can be, and it can only ever be to that level. And it won't be any more, it won't be any less, because you've got all of this stimulation from the socialized environment, and so you've got the stimulation, but you'll only ever grow to that particular level. You'll only ever get to that particular level because that's your capacity, let's say. That's your intellectual capacity, that's your instinctual capacity, that's the differentiation of your neurological structure. It's bound by a certain height. And then there's another person who's bound by another height, or there's another person who's bound by a lower height, all these different ranges. And it's not only one kind of mono system in which everyone's bound by a certain height in this one thing. No, because of course we have many different varieties of intelligence. So I might be bound to a high height in abstract thinking and fluid intelligence, whereas someone else might be bound to Whereas, let's say, I might be bound to a very, very low capacity in a more kind of practical, hands-on intelligence. I'm not very good with I'm really terrible with practical stuff. But someone who I might consider, out of prejudice, quite unintelligent, might bloody surprise me and might end up just knocking up a bloody wardrobe in front of me. And I think, how the hell did you do? I can't even get my head around how you did that. I couldn't even start to build a wardrobe. So you see, we've got all these different levels in different domains as well. And so it's not just, well, you're intelligent and you're not intelligent, or you're this and you're that, or whatever. It's so much more expansive than that. So anyway, I'll leave it there because I've got to go. Well, we'll have to do our exercise in a bit, but I probably want to go for a walk or something as well. I'll just look down the chat very quickly. Adz, drinking would be great, I believe. I know, crazy. What causes Rob to make Lisa do nasty things to people with lots of subscribers? I don't know. I haven't a clue. Drinking with Adz. Who says he makes me do it? Oh God, I don't even know. I'm fascinated by it. I don't know. I don't know what that's to do with, but okay. If I ever get a logo finalised, I'd love to put one on my wall behind me with some cool line. Oh, that would be awesome, yeah. Some teach a job and others teach a passion. Exactly, yeah. The thing is, this is what it boils down to. People do things for a job. That's what it boils down to. Everybody, in an ideal world, would do something not as a job, but because they love it. That in an ideal world, you'd have people stacking the shelves at Tesco, smiling at you. Actually, no, it wouldn't be a nice thing. Right, okay. But anyway, I was just thinking of some weird, like, dystopian future in which, like, everyone's smiling, like, constantly. Like, you know, like, really big smile on the face, like, we're not going to be sad. We're not going to be sad, so it might not be that good. But, no, but, you know, you would have people who even the menial jobs, people would fit into those jobs and they would be happy doing those jobs. And they would realise that that's their level. And then you've got other people who, you know, from a kind of conceptual distinction are on a higher level, which really isn't a higher level, it's just the system, let's say. But you'd have other people who are in offices and stuff, and they'd be doing their thing, and then they would be happy with that. And then you'd have other people being doctors, and they would be happy with that, and all that sort of stuff. But we tend to, a lot of people do it as a job. There's certain subjects where there's more people who don't do it for a job and more people who do it for a passion. I do believe that psychology is one of those. I think there's more people in psychology, and I think there's more people in philosophy, and I think there's more people in medicine as well. I think medicine's another one where people generally do these kind of few things for passion. I think physics is another one. I think there's a lot of passion in physics, and there's less people who do physics for a job, but it's more because it's a passion. But then there's other fields, and it is generally the more kind of physical jobs, I think, in which less people do it as a passion. I think there's an argument for people like plumbers. I think there's an argument for people, you know, for engineers and things like that. But when we get to people like working in supermarkets or working here or working there, I think it's more, most people, in fact, I think like 80%, 90% of people just do it for a job. It isn't about passion. And, you know, I mean, it would be great if we could get everyone in a sense of they're doing it for passion, but at the moment that would simply just be a, you know, smile for the camera type attitude. It wouldn't actually be, you'd be forcing them, you'd be saying to them, you're always going to do this for a passion, but actually we don't do it for a passion. So, I think of Brian Cox as a Scottish actor, there you go, but that's what I'm saying as well. You think of Brian Cox, obviously, okay, you didn't think of a physicist, but you thought of the actor, and you immediately associated Brian Cox with acting. So that, you know, that's weird in itself, isn't it? You know, that's kind of odd. I'm not where I have to have a master. Could you imagine that, some bloody dominatrix master. Well, not dominatrix, but just some bloody weird submissive dominance thing going on with a bloody master. That's mental. What question? What question did you have, Tommy? Still cracking out the signs, Eric. That's to Eric. That's not to me. What causes Rob to... Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. God, no, I don't know. Oh, you were asking that... Oh, you were asking that to me. I thought you were asking it to Lisa or someone. What causes Rob to make Lisa do nasty things to people with lots of subscribers? I don't know. God, an over-association with the instinct for dominance, but, I mean, that's an over-exaggeration as it is, so don't take that as anything, but, if it's anything, then it's an over-association with the instinct for dominance, which is characterized in archetypal terms by the animus, which is the masculine principle. So, therefore, it's more of an over-association with the masculine. But, just spitballing. Here's some guidance for future talks ads. Nobody mentions anything. We've already been through that load. No one can stop me. It's crazy. What causes a black hole? That would cause a black hole. We need Adz and Chrono to get... Oh, God, could you imagine? It'd be crazy. Right, anyway, I'm going to go. Got to do this walk or this run or something. Then we've got this... Is anyone even in the kitchen? Can't even see the light on. But then we've got to do the exercise. Also, before I go, can people tell me, is the mic okay? What's it sound? Let me just do some tests. So, how does this sound? Wait a sec. How does this sound? 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 Right, okay, that's good. That'll do. Right, so how does this sound? Fine, okay, alright, average, so-so, good, loud, great. What? No, don't say that. I don't know what you're on about now. I hadn't a clue. Oh, someone put in the chat something serious. Someone, please. Is it okay? God, I don't know what this new mic's doing. It's probably crap, innit? It's probably crap. Oh, God. Adz, it's only going to sound good close up. Right, so you mean like this. Do I need to put it like here? Have I been... can anyone hear me? They are meant to be 2-3 inches away max. Okay. Right, so... Could anyone hear me beforehand when I was doing my little educational reform rant? Or was I literally just so quiet? Was I incredibly quiet? I bet I was really quiet, wasn't I? I was really quiet, wasn't I? Yes, but don't yell. Oh, for God's sake. Right, so what am I meant to do? I could... This is so bad. I'm not doing it like this. I can't do it like this because now I'm gonna heard you loud and clear. No problem. Speak so. Speak. Do you know me? I don't speak softly. Jesus. Hello. It's gonna be some ASMR stuff now, isn't it? Hello. We're gonna be feeling some objects tonight. Lovely. It's all lovely and nice. We're all getting tucked into bed together. Yeah, okay. No, we're not doing this. I need my mic back down there. I don't like it that close. It feels weird. Right, okay, so we're gonna go. We're back on oh no, I might come on Saturday for my birthday. You bought a dynamic mic. Alright, well, I'm not, why do I have to have it up there? I don't want it up there. It's a lot of crap being up here. Look at that. That's so bad. This is really bad. I can't have it like this. You know what? I need my hand gestures. I can't do my hand gestures up here. I need it like this. Hello. I do my hand gestures, you know. One of the essentials for speaking and public speaking and stuff, doing the hand gesture. I like, you know. Anyway, right, okay, we'll go. But it's cool though, innit, that I'm flexing, because now it says sure on there. That's a proper flex, innit? That's a proper flex. Well, okay, I'll go. I'll see you in a bit. Don't forget, if you haven't already checked out the other videos, check out the other videos. Probably got another video coming in a couple of days, so check out that one. And I will see you very soon. See you very soon, guys.